What's up, guys? It's time for base coat and clear coat. I brought the tailgate over here, just going to check one more time to make sure it fit on the bed before I sprayed it, and I got to looking. And there was all kinds of little scratches and stuff along this top edge right here, and it was a real deep one right in this area that he said somebody had done to it, and he had filled it in with some of that touch-up paint. Of course, it looked horrible, so I sanded it down with 180, put some of the glaze in it, sanded it with 320 and 400, and then primed it, and then I wet sanded the whole tailgate with 400. Everything looks pretty good now. I had it out here in the sun drying. I did the wet sanding last night, Saturday night. I'm fixing to take it up to the garage, find a good spot to lay it or hang it. I'm not sure which yet. I get some base coat mixed up, wipe everything down one last time, set up the fans, and get ready to spray some paint. I'll bring you guys back when I'm ready, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, guys, I got my paint in from Another Option Paint and Body. Thank you very much, Andrea. Awesome stuff. Matrix standard base white with the 885 reducer and the MS78 clear kit, which is the stuff Darren uses, so this is going to look super when I'm done, hopefully, if I don't screw it up. I've got the bed itself wiped down with the non-ammonia window cleaner. Got everything done. I took my shop vac, vacuumed the floor and everything before I wiped it down, all the way around it, all the stuff anywhere close to it. I got my table set up with some masking paper on it, wiped it down just to make sure I didn't have any dust. I've got the tailgate wiped down with the window cleaner as well, make sure there wasn't any grease or anything on it. I taped up the latches and the cables on either side because I didn't feel like taking them off. Too much pain in the rear end to get them off. So I'm about ready to paint. When I came in here, I left the air conditioner on last night to try and bring the humidity down. It didn't work. We're still at like 90% plus. Temperature is actually a little bit lower than what the reducer says. I had the door open for a while, bringing the temp back up where I left the AC on last night. It was about 68 degrees when I came in here this morning. It's about 80, 82 outside. Not sure how well you can see it, but I've got a filter over my eave vent. I've got the other one blocked off on the other side of the garage so that I'm drawing air through that. And I've got my box fan going over here underneath the door so that I'm pulling air basically from the top of the garage down across the bed out the door. So I'm going to cool off a little bit. I'm just a little sweaty. So here just a minute, I'm going to get this thing ready to spray. And then I've got a surprise on another video after this one later this afternoon. I had a little challenge come through, and believe me, after doing all this, it's going to feel great. So stay tuned, and I'll bring you guys back when I get some paint on this thing. See you in a few. Okay, it looks like a... Oh, hang on a minute, let me turn the radio off. Looks like a vanilla milkshake. But this base mixes 1 to 1.5 with the reducer. I mixed up 12 ounces of the paint, which would mean 18 ounces of the reducer, so that gives me 30 ounces total. I'm just stirring it real well, make sure that I've got everything diluted properly and all that the reducer isn't sitting on the top. It looks pretty good. Got everything ready to go. Just drained my compressor. As you can tell, I had a little bit of water at the bottom of this thing, and I just drained it about a week ago. So, of course, I've been using the DA a lot. I used it on this tailgate yesterday and stuff. So, I've got the bleeder on the bottom of it cracked just a little bit, so any water that happens while I'm spraying will run out the bottom. I also drained my filter here on the side right before the air hose. So, I'm getting ready to mask up, shut the AC off. So that way I've not got any air blowing across the bed while I'm trying to spray it. Getting ready to put this in the gun. I just cleaned the gun a few minutes ago. Had a couple of little specks of primer in it from last time. So I'll get this thing filled up and get some base on here, and then I'll bring you guys back in a few minutes. I can't leave the camera running while I'm spraying in here. If I do, the whole thing will be covered in paint. You won't be able to see anything. So I'll see you guys in a few. Okay, this is 2 coats of base. It looks like I got pretty good coverage. I've still got, sorry for the lines in the camera, the lights are flaking it out. Sorry if you're having trouble hearing me, I've still got my respirator on, the fumes just kind of cleared out. But it looks like I got good coverage, but I am going to go ahead, since I've still got paint left, and go ahead and put a 3rd coat of base on it. This one's about tacked up enough to where I can put a 3rd coat on there, but everything I'm seeing so far looks good. Boy, this stuff sprays wonderful. This is the first time I've sprayed any matrix base, and I tell you what, I've sprayed. Okay, the fumes are cleared enough now. I've sprayed pretty much all of them, if you want to name it. I mean, you can look up here at my paint shelf. I've got Lemco, RM, you name it, and this stuff sprays better than anything I've ever sprayed. I mean, it's it's pretty much idiot-proof. If I can spray it with no runs, no sags, I tell you, this is some good stuff right here. I mean, it goes on so evenly, and white is a very difficult color to paint. I mean, you can ask Ruben, he'll tell you, you're putting it on the panel, you can't see too well what you've got covered and what you haven't. I mean, it's almost as difficult as black. But this stuff goes on super flat. I mean, it's just smooth as everything. If the clear goes on this good, I'm going to be a real happy camper. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead, since I've still got base left, and put a 3rd coat on here. The 2 coats of this covered real well. Could probably get by with this, but I'm not going to chance it since I've still got paint left. I mean, I don't see any spots anywhere that looks like it's thin. This stuff just, it amazes me. It's awesome paint. I mean, I wish you guys could see how flat this stuff is. I mean, it dries, it's just like a piece of glass. I mean, you can already see the reflection going down the side of it. This stuff's awesome. I mean, it's going to look even better when I put the clear on it. Here's the tailgate. Like I said, well, I see a spot now up here at the bottom where I had some primer. I didn't get real good coverage on there. This has only got a little over a coat on it. I did it last. So I'll go ahead and probably put 2 more on it and 1 more on the body, and I think I'm still going to end up with paint left. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to basing, and I'll bring you guys back when it's done. See ya. It never fails. Fresh paint, bugs. Oh well, I should be used to it around here. I'll let this stuff get pretty much completely dry, and then I'll take my finger or maybe a paint stick or something, kind of brush it off. So far, that's the only insect I've seen. Stuff's not quite flashed off yet. It's still got a little bit of a shine to it. Man, these lights are really playing havoc with this camera. Sorry about that. Everything's got 3 coats on it. I could have got by with 2, but I went ahead and put 3, and I still only used about a quart of base by the time I mixed it 1 part of base to 1.5 parts reducer. So I've got enough to do the whole thing again, probably. I went on pretty heavy to make sure that I had good coverage. Moved some lights around and stuff, checked against the panels and different light back and forth to make sure that I had good coverage all the way around. It looks pretty good. I got my mixing cup cleaned out, got my gun cleaned out good. So once this stuff sets up, I'll go over it again and check, make sure I don't have any dust, which I'm actually kind of amazed that there's not any more dirt in this. Of course, it's like everything else, it'll wait till I put the clear on it, and then that's when everything will jump in there, be stuck to it. But there's very little dirt in it, especially in this environment. But that's what it looks like with the base on there. Once everything gets done and I get a coat of clear on there, I'll bring you guys back. See you in a few. Okay, folks, it's time for the clear. It mixes 2 to 1 of the clear to the hardener. It's been about 80-85 degrees here, so that's why I've got the slow hardener for the clear. I'm getting ready to add it now. It's 2 to 1. So I put 2 cups of the clear itself. I'm going to add 1 cup of the hardener and put that in the gun, and I'll see how far that gets me. This stuff is totally flashed off. I got most of the bug out. It left a little bit of streak. We'll call that a character mark because I'm not mixing up another batch of base just to touch up that one little tiny spot. This thing will have more chips and stuff in it in a year than you know what to do with anyway. But I wiped the whole thing down lightly, very lightly, with a tack cloth to make sure I got all the dust and the overspray and stuff off. And I was kind of surprised how much stuff there actually was on it. Of course, I already tossed the tack rag in the trash so you can't see it. You always have to watch for those things and not bear down too hard on them, or you'll end up getting a little bit of that tacky residue on the paint, and it could cause fish eyes. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. I've had pretty good success with them in the past. I can't remember what brand this is here. Let's see. I still got one left. Surgical Blue. Of course, I always take them up, open them all the way up, scrunch them around, wad them around in my hands for a few minutes and stuff, and then use them very lightly. But they seem to do pretty good. And then after I did that, I swapped gloves. Did you ever notice whenever your hands are all sweaty, these gloves don't go on worth a flip? Of course, I got big hands anyway. These are extra large gloves, and they barely do fit. I had to fight to get these things on because my hands are already sweaty. But anyway, I'm going to finish putting the hardener to the clear and get started clearing this thing. I'll bring you guys back when I get some clear on here. See you in a few. Mission accomplished. This stuff went on like a dream. I can't believe how well this stuff laid out on there. I mean, it's like a piece of glass. And my body work on this tailgate wasn't spectacular, but I tell you what, I'll never use anything else besides the MS-78 clear. This, I tell you, I don't think you could have poured it on there and got any better finish out of this stuff. I guess now I'll have to worry about him saying the rest of the truck needs painted to match the bed. But the tailgate looks really, really good because I laid it down flat and the stuff flowed out super nice. I got a little bit of orange peel on the bed sides, and I was kind of hoping to have just a little to kind of match the factory paint. But I tell you what, this stuff, I wish I had better lighting in here to show you, but it flowed just unbelievable. I can't believe how well this stuff went on here. I've had issues in the past with dry shot and the stuff not wanting to lay down. Since I used the slow reducer, this stuff flowed out just amazing. There's no way to really show you how well this looks in here. I mean, if it were my car, I'd probably have tried to get it on just a little flatter and then would probably wet sand and buff it to get what little orange peel there is in it out. But seeing as I'm trying to match the rest of the truck, I think it's going to look pretty close. Of course, the rest of the truck I don't think is going to be this shiny now, so I may end up having to try and buff the rest of the vehicle. But this stuff's amazing. Didn't have any problem at all getting it to come out of the gun. I mean, it just, I can't say enough about it. It's just a wonderful product. Even me having never sprayed it before, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I'm an idiot and I made it look this good, so I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I still got a little cleanup on my side pieces here. I got some tape residue and stuff stuck to them. I peeled the tape off. I don't really want to mess with it too much because this stuff is still kind of tender. It's not kicked completely yet. It's still just a little tacky, but that's why I pulled the tape off of those side mollies before it got completely hard, because I didn't want to take any paint with it. I'm really anxious to get this on the truck so you can see what it looks like outside. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm extremely happy with how it turned out. So, with that, put the screen right here, let's see what I'm telling you. I'm pretty much done for the day. I'm about whooped. Get the rest of this stuff cleaned up. I've already got my gun washed out, got my cup cleaned out, and I got one more little project I got to take care of this afternoon, and I'll do a separate video on that. So I'll see y'all then. I'll bring you back whenever there's something else to show you on this. Y'all take care. See you.